In this video, we're going to show you how to install the front differential mount bushing on your Hummer H3, located underneath the front portion of the vehicle. We're going to go ahead and remove our front splash shield here. 13mm bolts, there's 2 of them on the front. Loosen and remove these. Now if you move to the rearward ones here, you're going to loosen this. And this one here. We're going to move the skid plate back into these slots. We'll go ahead and remove the rearward skid plate. 13mm bolts in the back. We're just going to loosen those. With the 2 rear bolts loose, we need to remove this 1 bolt on the front. The other side is slotted on the driver's side front. So remove that. With the forward bolt removed, we can go ahead and slide the pin back and set it aside. On this cross member right here, there's an 18mm bolt going through the bushing up into the differential. We want to get it loosened and remove that. Okay, we have a bolt loose. We just need to put a wrench on the top to hold the nut. I'm going to use our 18mm wrench on the top. Now our cross member here is held in by 4 bolts. There's 2 here, and then there's 2 over on the driver's side here. The bolt head is an 18mm as well as the nuts. So I'm going to use my swivel extension, and I'm going to put a wrench on the other side. Now what we're going to do is we're just going to remove the nuts. We're going to leave the bolts in place. Let's go ahead and do the same for the other side. Now I'm going to go ahead and use our pole jack. You can use your regular jack. And all we're going to do is just gently support that. Now our bushing separated just a tiny bit here, which is perfect. Next thing we want to do is remove our 4 bolts. I'm just using a punch to go ahead and tap through any of the bolts that are stuck in there. We're going to insert a pry bar on the driver's side of this brace. We're going to use our jack to go ahead and support that differential. Go ahead and raise that up a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and pivot this. That's going to allow us to get out this 4th bolt here. And then remove the cross member. Now here we have our cross member over at our press, and we need to go ahead and press this bushing out of the cross member. Now if you notice here, there's a large arc here and a small one here that does match up with our replacement component. Now ideally, we want to go ahead and press this in the same way it was from the factory. I'm going to go ahead and take a crayon, and I'm simply going to generally mark just a yellow mark where that notch should be for the large one. I'm going to take our new bushing and just mark this yellow so that I know that that needs to line up with that upon installation. Now our bushing is in bad shape. The center literally tore out. So that's why we're replacing our component. And this bushing needs to come out through the top here. So we need to do is set this up, flip this over, and get it into the press and push it down. Now we want to go ahead and set something up on the steel portion of this bushing. I'm going to use some pliers and remove, you can use a razor blade if you want. And I'm going to pull off the bushing here. That's going to expose the steel that we can go ahead and use the press tool. Once again, you can use a razor blade, whatever works for you, to go ahead and get that rubber cleared. All right, we have our press set up here. I'm going to go ahead and push this out. Here's our old bushing, or what was left of it. At this point here, it's best to go ahead and clean this up. If you have a little bit of maybe 120 grit sandpaper, go ahead and clean this up on the inside, get this prepped and ready for the new bushing. Now we have our bushing set up in here. Now if we put a block on the top, it's going to push in on the center of the bushing and could tear it. So you want to go ahead and set this up so that you utilize the two notches here to push on the bottom portion of the unit itself. You want to go ahead and focus on this here, make sure that the bushing itself is going straight in. Make sure it's fully seated. We simply used a 12 millimeter socket on the smaller portion and a 13 on the larger side. We weren't using a lot of pressure on this to get that in, but we are fully seated and we're ready to reinstall this in the vehicle. Go ahead and line this up, work this in. Go ahead and swing this up and into place. Let's get the two bolts started on the other side. With all four of these bolts started, I'm just going to go ahead and get the nuts started on the other side. Just a few threads. And then we're going to do the same on the driver's side. Go ahead and take your long bolt, get that inserted, and we want to get that started into the nut here. I'm now going to lower the differential down. I can remove the pole jack. In your case, move your regular jack out of the way. You should have the differential weight sitting on that cross member now. I'm going to go ahead and tighten up our bolt here. We're going to tighten down our cross member bolts. We're going to go ahead and torque down these bolts to 48 foot-pounds. And repeat for the other side. Torque down the bolt to the differential to 46 foot-pounds. Good, line up your rearward skid plate here. Install our forward bolt. We're going to line up our forward portion of the skid plate with the bumper, and then line up the back half with the bolts. Slide that up. I'm going to go ahead and install the forward bolts to the bumper area. Get these started. Now that we have them all started, let's go ahead and tighten them all down. At that point there, you're all set.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.